Hello everybody, I'm JackieKCooper and this is my entertainment rundown. Well, it was not a great weekend at the movies. We had some stragglers that came out, nothing that anybody expected much out of, and they didn't make much of an impact. But one of the movies that you might see at your local theater is a film called Don't Let Go. And this stars David Oyelowo, who is a good actor. I've seen him in other movies. He's always good. Storm Reid is in the film. She's a newcomer to the scene. But then it has old veterans like McKelty Williamson and Alfred Molina. And it's all about a man who's a police detective. That's Oyelowo's role. And he is close with his niece, played by Storm Reid. And they communicate by phone, and he's working. She'll have free time and she'll call. And he's kind of been a little bit alienated from his brother because his brother has been involved with drugs in the past and he wants that cut off completely. But he gets a call. This is at the very first of the movie, so I'm not doing spoilers. He gets a call and is called to a scene and finds that his brother, sister-in-law, and his niece have all been murdered. Now, that's the start of the film. But a few weeks later, after this occurs, his cell phone rings, and it's a call that shows a picture of his niece calling. And at first he doesn't answer, but she keeps calling, and eventually he answers, and somehow she is calling from weeks before she was ever murdered. So now he's got to try to find a way to find out who wants to murder his brother, sister-in-law, and niece, and prevent it from happening. Now, this sounds a lot to me like a movie from 2000, with Dennis Quaid that was called Frequency. And in that one, they used a shortwave radio, and he was in the present, and he could dial and hear things and conversations with people who lived in the past. That was a very good movie. This movie doesn't do it because you have it starting off in the past, and you jump back to months before, then you jump forward a few weeks, etc. The time frames are just too confusing. The whole thing was muddled, and that frustrated me because in theory, it sounded good, and Oyelowo and Storm Reid both do a good job of this, and then, again, like I said, McKelty Williamson never does a bad job in a movie. Same with Alfred Molina. But you wanted them to have something logical in an illogical situation to work with. The movie is rated R for violence and profanity. I scored it 4 out of 10. Now, I have to tell you, I've talked to some people who've seen this movie. They thought it was great. It just didn't hit me that way. So, Don't Let Go, rated R, gets a 4 out of 10. Then John Travolta had a new movie out. You can look this up. It's called The Fanatic. And I am sure when John Travolta saw this script, he thought, Kathy Bates, won an Oscar for her role in Misery, where she played the ultimate fan to James Caan's character. Well, in this one, John Travolta plays a guy named Moose. He's got some learning disabilities, etc. But he is obsessed with a Hollywood star played by Devon Sawa. And he is in Hollywood and he stalks this guy, and of course that's what the whole movie is about. John Travolta has moments where he is really good in this, but then he has moments when he slides off character. And a lot of this movie doesn't make sense in the long run, about the motivation for the character. Where does the character get the money that he survives on? He works on the, kind of doing a routine on Hollywood Boulevard, but that doesn't seem enough to, provide him with an income. But this movie could have been a big break for Travolta, kind of get his career, back on track. But it just falls off the rails. And that's sad because I like John Travolta and I think he's a good actor. This film is rated R for profanity and violence. I scored it 4 out of 10. Sorry, John, this isn't the reignite your career movie that you hoped it would be. I know you felt that way. So, there you have my 2 movies for this entertainment rundown. It wasn't a good weekend at the movies. What can I say? I can say, reach down there and push the subscribe button and come on board, because we're going to have all the movies covered for you in the days and weeks to come. This has been JackieKCooper's Entertainment Rundown.